Aurora in TPDP is a strong weather effect, giving a 50% boost to light skills, and weakening dark skills by 50%. Only looking at the base effect, Aurora already seems incredibly strong. A 50% power boost is amazing, as anyone familiar with sun and rain in Pokemon can tell you, but the advantages don't stop there. There are certain abilities and moves that synergize with Aurora. In terms of moves, Weather Aurora sets Aurora, which is fairly obvious. There are two other skills that can set Aurora, those being Realm Corona, which sets Aurora and Byakko, but is negative priority and is an exclusive move. The other skill being Season Summer, which was added and extended, and is exclusive to Extra Okina. It sets both Aurora and Suzaku, and also has negative priority. As you may expect, Secret Ceremony causes Extra Okina to become a light type under Aurora. Sun's Protection, a move that normally provides +1 to focus attack and spread attack, now provides +2 to those stats under Aurora, similar to Pokemon's growth under Sun. Another Sun-like trait is Rainbow Flowers, a nature type 120 base power move that requires a turn to charge, but instantly charges under Aurora, similar to Solar Beam under Sun. Heavenly Blessing and Heavenly Influence become light type attacks under Aurora. But those are just moves. Abilities are where it begins to get more interesting. Sanguin is the ability that sets Aurora for 5 turns upon switch-in, or 8 if the puppet is holding Almighty or Halo Godstone. Anyone familiar with Pokemon is aware of how much better weather setting abilities are compared to manually setting them. The same applies in Tippy. 4 puppets have Sanguin as their ability, being Assist Sunny, Speed Luna, Defense Star, and the extended puppet Speed Eternity. Speed Eternity is the only non-light type Sanguin puppet, instead being a nature/fire type. This can be fairly useful as most Aurora puppets are light type, which means teams based around Aurora often struggle with type diversity. Nature/fire doesn't cover for any of Light's weaknesses, but also doesn't share any weaknesses with the light type either, so we have alright synergy defensively. The typing's main usage is more offensively oriented, as it can hit the water and nature types that resist light for super effective damage, and while her base 100 focus attack is somewhat mediocre, it's enough to seriously bruise a number of puppets, making it more difficult for them to handle her Aurora abusing partners. Speed Eternity doesn't benefit much from Aurora herself. Being a focus attacker, she doesn't make good use of Rainbow Flowers. She can make use of a few strong light skills and set up with Sun's Protection, but those aren't that impactful overall. However, as I stated previously, S Eternity's role is not to abuse Aurora herself. It is to enable her partners by threatening common checks to light types. The other setters are the 3 Fairies of Light. Something to note is that weather is often used to correlate certain characters together, as we can see here with the Fairies of Light, or previously with the Hifu duo, and there are more yet to come. A quick note I'd like to make is that all Sanguin puppets have access to Changeling, which allows them to pivot. Of course, Changeling, being a dark type attack, means its power is halved under Aurora, and every Sanguin puppet except Speed Eternity are spread attackers, so don't expect it to do much damage. But still, being able to pivot as a weather setter is always a good trait to have. Assist Sunny is perhaps the most basic of the 3, a pure light type with fairly decent bulk, an average spread attack, and slow speed. While its spread attack is decent enough to threaten a number of puppets under Aurora, she has to use either the weak Star Flare or the potentially exploitable Arc Light, as she lacks Moonbow, a strong and spammable light stab. As such, A Sunny generally sticks to her support skills, with Stealth Trap and Will-O-Wisp being some particularly notable options. Grace of Mana is great for sustain, Firewall lets her remove items, Smash Spin can clear hazards, and Encourage can disrupt puppets setting up on you. These factors make A Sunny a fairly solid Aurora setter, although its low speed can make it abusable. Defense Star is slower and weaker than A Sunny, but has much greater spread bulk and a secondary illusion type. She shares some options with A Sunny, like Changeling and Grace of Mana, but also lacks many important skills such as Stealth Trap, Will-O-Wisp, and even Smash Spin. She does get Revolving Illusions, which works like Foul Play, as an option to deter strong, focus attackers, but that isn't enough to make up for how much she loses out on. Light/Illusion also has some major flaws as well, namely a 4 times weakness to Illusion. Illusion is already a major issue for Aurora teams, with Pursuit and Sneak Attack being able to completely ruin their strategies, which means a 4 times Illusion weakness is a major detriment. Overall, a somewhat lacking Aurora setter. Finally, we have Speed Luna. Speed Luna is kind of busted. She's both a weather enabler and abuser all in one. Stat-wise, S Luna is fast, with fairly average stats everywhere else. S Luna has a light/sound typing, and while she is still weak to illusion, her additional sound stab can hit them super effectively. This may look somewhat underwhelming at first, but S Luna has Fairy Dance, which gives a +1 boost to her speed, spread attack, and spread defense. This elevates her from okay to terrifying, as a power boost from Fairy Dance and Aurora can quickly make her a monster, and her already high speed means most Scarfers can't revenge kill her when she gets to +1. She has strong spammable stab and Moonbow, Infinite Scales can quickly run away with the game if left unchecked, Grace of Mana lets her run bulkier sets which can set up more safely. Rainbow Flowers is incredibly powerful coverage, and she even gets Lightning Speed as her pivoting move, which is leagues better than the weak changelings the other puppets had to use. She can also forego her setup sweeper set and instead just act as a speedy weather setter, who enables her partners, forcing the opponent to guess which set you're running. While she isn't as support focused as a Sunny, Speed Luna is already a massive threat by herself, and being able to act as either the Aurora Enabler or the Aurora Sweeper makes her as unpredictable as she is dangerous. And those are just the setters. Our first weather abusing ability is Flash, which doubles speed under Aurora. Like Chlorophyll in Pokemon, Flash is mainly found on light-type puppets, who get the weather power boost on their stabs, with the only exception being Extra Eternity, who is Nature/Illusion type. This ability is obviously very strong, as anyone who is familiar with Swift Swim, Chlorophyll, and Sand Rush could guess. Extra Eternity is unique in being the only non-light type puppet with Flash, but being Nature/Illusion still means she's weak to Illusion herself, so it doesn't really help her with Aurora's major weakness, outside of threatening other Illusion types. She does get Fairy Dance, but it doesn't make her a monster like S Luna. It's still a strong option though. She also won't be hitting as hard as other Flash puppets, due to not having stab on her light skills, but she does get stab Rainbow Flowers, which will charge instantly. An interesting note is that Extra Eternity has Surprise Tactics as a secondary ability, meaning E-Eternity can be used on both weathers. Our next Flash puppet is Power Sunny, who is Light/Fire type, and has an impressive 130 spread attack. Once again, she gets Fairy Dance, which is good, but S Luna generally uses it better. Most time, it's best just to slap on Choice Earrings or Straw Doll and spam Arclight or Inferno and watch things explode. Unlike his sister Sunny, Power Sunny has access to Moonbow, which is useful as a spammable stab. Straightforward, but strong. Compared to Power Sunny, Power Luna is a bit bulkier, slower, and weaker. Not that speed matters too much under Flash. P Luna is Light/Wind type, and has more support moves compared to P Sunny, with Perch and Grace of Mana for healing, Prank, Wind's God Grace, and the rare Bind Trap. While these are certainly useful options, Aurora's limited turns force you into a more offensive playstyle, which can make P Luna feel less useful than P Sunny in many scenarios, but some teams prefer P Luna's mix of support and power, or simply prefer her type. Finally, we have Power Show. Think of Chandelure with Chlorophyll, and you're basically already there. Power Show is a Light/Electric type, with a staggering 145 spread attack. While Light/Electric isn't an amazing type combination, with both stabs being resisted by Light and Nature, this isn't too big of an issue for Power Show, simply due to how strong she is. She makes incredible use of Choice Earrings thanks to her powerful stab lightning speeds, letting her easily pivot while dealing major damage. Most Earth puppets who can block lightning speed will be eviscerated by Moonbow, so they're too scared to switch in. And even puppets who resist Moonbow will still take major damage from it simply due to how strong it is. Nature types also fear her coverage in Blaze Spear. Power Show is simply a beast under Aurora. and can sweep through many unprepared teams with no issue. Well, little to no issue. I will also note that Power Show has an exclusive move, Realm Corona, which, as I mentioned earlier, sets Aurora and Byakko. This is meant to synergize with the various low accuracy moves that Show learns, as Byakko prevents most attacks from missing. However, Power Show generally prefers having Aurora set for her, rather than setting it herself, so the move is very niche. There are two other Aurora abilities, being Light Curtain and Aurora Grace. Light Curtain will heal status effects at the end of the turn and make the puppet immune to confusion, while Aurora Grace increases spread defense by 50% and restores a small amount of HP at the end of each turn. While they do have their uses, these abilities are generally more niche compared to Flash and Sanguin, due to being mostly defensive on an inherently offensive playstyle. As such, I won't be covering the individual puppets who use them. There is one other ability that interacts with Aurora, that being Cloak of Darkness, but this is actually a negative effect, causing puppets with it to take damage at the end of each turn while Aurora is active. So, that's Aurora. Overall, it's a strong weather, although it has some weaknesses. Light isn't a great offensive typing, so while the 50% power boost is strong, most teams will have at least one puppet who can resist light and can endure the onslaught. Flash is also the only offensive ability that Aurora has, which can make Aurora teams somewhat one-dimensional. There's also a major reliance on stacking light types, which leaves a major weakness to illusion, which can be very exploitable. And most non-light Aurora puppets are still either weak to illusion, or simply don't benefit much from Aurora themselves. These flaws still aren't going to stop the Power Show from wrecking your team to shreds though, so don't dismiss them. Next time, we'll be looking at Aurora's counterpart, Heavy Fog. Until then, goodbye.